Good morning. So nice to have you join us today. Are you feeling in the spirit of the season? Kind of been a slow go, I think, for a lot of us to get there, but hopefully your smiles are big and your shopping is manageable and you're really feeling the meaning of the season before us. Kevin Fuerst is here this morning. He's going to kick off the show with us, and I think he's going to put a smile on your face. Kevin has Fuerst Financial Group here, and while we're all spending our money right now, you're going to talk about kind of preserving it and growing it.
Maybe.
So good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you, Julie.
You said maybe.
Well, I say spend. I mean, if you've got it, spend it.
Yeah.
You just have to, it's the whole, goes back to the basics, the budget. How much, how much do you make? How much can you set back? And then enjoy, the fruits of your labor. That's what I think. I think you should. I
think you may have gotten a lot of people's attention with that answer, actually, because I think sometimes folks are a little bit uneasy going and meeting with somebody financially because they don't want to live in a totally restricted way. Mm-hmm. You don't believe in that. You just want your money to work for you.
Correct.
Right? So you have to know each individual client.
Yeah, so you've got your income, you've got your daily, living expenses. And then whether or not, so I always look at it like, first thing I do is I tithe. I have my expenses that I know that I have. And then I save. So I save quite a bit of my income. And so what else is left? The rest of it is to spend. So if you understand those simple principles, then you get to enjoy life. So you don't worry about, the $4 or $5, $200 hiccup that comes along. We went out this weekend with my grandkids, and so somehow they got the idea they wanted a ping pong table. Oh. So that's what we did, and so my grandson said, well, how much do those cost? I said, well, I'm thinking it's going to be about $250 is what I anticipated. He said, oh, well, we can handle that.
Oh, and how old is he?
He's 8, and so that is exactly the way I want them to think and understand that you can enjoy life and get the things that you want within reason, but you have to make sure that all those other things are in order. If you do, then you've got peace about it, and you're not worried or wondering that, are we going to make it? Am I going to be able to pay it off? No, you should know what you're going to do. Now, some may not be able to because they didn't do it, but there's a new year coming. And so you just start off new and do it right.
So, usually when you're here, you don't pre-plan when you come my way. You kind of go with what's on your heart on a given moment. And what's been on your heart a lot right now is estate planning because you're seeing a lot of people not doing it. Yeah, and it really is easy to do. I mean, you just have to, it's like anything else until you fear it until you do it, and then it's like, well, that wasn't that bad, and it doesn't cost that much, depending on the size of your estate and the money that you have. My story is my grandfather, when he passed away, he had a will. He didn't have a very large estate, under $250, but the cost to settle it at the time, to me, was outrageous, and it kind of what spun me into the idea of, in my financial practice, I wanted to add estate planning because I felt like people should know about this. It's an easy fix. And with the right attorney, with the right planner, I think you can walk through that process and make sure that the money that you have, that you've saved, goes to the people you love, the organizations you love. Why not? Why shouldn't it? Okay, so educate me a little bit. Let's go with your grandfather's example. So let's just make it a simple, even $250 that was the estate. Yeah. And what he had was a will. Had he had a trust or more of estate planning, would the fees and things that you paid been minimized?
Yes. Well, not only that, all the children of my grandparents, obviously, my mom and dad, and their brothers and sister, there was one boy and 2 girls, they lived out of state. And so when you live out of state, you can't be the executor. So guess who becomes the executor? Nothing against them, but it's an attorney. So the family had to appoint an attorney to be the executor of the estate. And so
now that's a fee.
That's a fee, which you have to have an attorney to go through probate court anyway, but there were additional fees because no one lived in the state anymore that could be the executor of the estate. And so I don't know if it complicated it at the time. There were so many things going on. It was just 2.5 years and thousands of dollars, when if they would have had a trust, it doesn't matter what state the executor, or in this case the trustee, lives, they can settle the estate. They don't need an attorney because they don't have to go through probate court.
Do you often, I have 2 minutes left, when people come to you and very often they think that they've got it squared away, then you review it and realize that they don't.
Yeah.
Are you going to simplify those steps? You
Yes.
mentioned the 2.5 years
Yep.
and the multiple filings.
Yeah, so there's setting up the trust and making sure it gets put together properly, because there's a couple things about a trust that are different than a will. There's the funding part of the trust, which you don't lose control, which is the biggest fear people have. If I set up a trust, I'm going to put the money in there and I've been told I'm going to lose control. That's not true. You
Okay.
don't lose control. You have more control, actually, because when you pass away, that has to be carried out. And so, go ahead.
Do you have to have a certain size portfolio to have a trust?
It depends. It really does.
Okay.
Sometimes especially people that have special needs children, it really, they almost have to have a trust.
Great
And
point.
so the special needs, in my mind, there's no way out of it other
Okay.
than to use a trust. And so what it does is it just, my father-in-law put it best. He came in, now I'd been doing this for, 20 years, 25 years. And he'd been to many workshops, and he just finally one day come in out of the blue and said, hey, I want to get my house in order. And I was just like shocked, like, okay, let's do this, because I've been wanting to do it so that everything's in good order. And, a year later, he passed away.
Wow.
2 years after that, his son passed away, my wife's brother. And so now mom-in-law and my wife, had we not had that in place, there could have been some issues that we would have had to face. But we didn't have to go through probate court, nothing. It was settled among relatives and everybody was happy.
So this is going to be his advice, I think, because I have to wrap it up. 1, enjoy the season. Enjoy the true meaning of the season.
Yep.
Don't be afraid to spend your money, provided you're saving as well and giving where you can. GrowKeepLeave.com is his website. 899-8555. Give yourself the gift of having that peace of mind that financial security brings. Great to see you.
Good to see you, Julie.
West Yellowknife, over 40,000 square